Hey guys, what's up? So I wanted to get on here and talk to you guys about this curse that I put on this bitch. This bitch named Rachel, who I had to slay, whose head I had to decapitate because the bitch came for me. I spoke about Rachel in the last video that we posted, but I wanted to get on here and share with you guys the curse that I put on her, the last straw on the camel's back when I had to dismantle this whore. Okay? When I had to dismantle this bitch because she thought coming for me was cute, because she thought that she could put her foot on me. But I had to let this hoe know that I'm the one calling the spiritual shots here, bitch. So I'll give you guys a little backstory on Rachel because this curse that I put on this bitch was well warranted. The spirits co-signed it and allowed it. Okay? She was asking for this shit. So, Miss Rachel, she was my instructor in university. And this lady, when you first saw her, she just gave you this, blonde hair, blue-eyed white woman. Like, she was just cool. Like, she just seemed, in her early 30s, early or mid 30s, and she seemed, like a cool person. But when time went on in the class, honey, you realize that this bitch was Satan herself. Okay, this bitch had a fucking attitude. She did not help me with my work. She would low grade me and fail me and give me low grades and not give me a hand or tell me what to change or what to do. And this was a art type school, so constructive criticism is encouraged. Okay, helping students is encouraged, and she would help other students, but she wouldn't help me. I feel she had an issue with me and my art and my work and how I expressed myself. I was weird to her. I must have been strange to her, even in my appearance. I was a foreign to this woman, and she had a problem with that. And then she saw my disposition and that I am kind. And people tell me that I have a very innocent face. Okay, and I have very big eyes, very open eyes. And when you look at me, I don't appear to be a disrespectful kind of person, which I'm not. I was raised correctly. And I raised myself correctly because a lot of shit that I am, I got on my own. My parents were great parents, but I feel like I formed myself as far as my personality and the kind of person I am. I feel like I formed that because I was allowed that by my parents to form who I am. But anyway, so I feel like this bitch wasn't comfortable with me, with the way that I expressed my art, the things that I did, the way that I looked. And I wasn't a rude person, so she felt like she could say things and do things to me because I wasn't going to respond to her in an aggressive way. And I can't tell you what exactly she said because this was back in 2010, 11, and I think some of 12. So she was my instructor for a few years in university. So yeah, this lady had an issue with me, and she would low grade me, and she sought me out to fail me, and she gathered other instructors around her to surround her and to come for me. These motherfuckers all sat on a fucking table. They ganged up on me. 7 of them. Trying to tell me about my motherfucking work. And who was the whore who set the whole shit up? It was motherfucking Rachel. It was that bitch who set the shit up. So I sat back and I had to handle certain people who were at that table that this bitch gathered. Starting with Linda. And Linda was the bitch who I went in on with Paimon. And you guys can hear about that in the other video. But yeah, I handled her with Paimon. Controlled this whore's thoughts. And put this bitch in her fucking place. But Rachel, oh no, she was specifically coming for me. So yeah, so eventually this bitch signed this paper towards the end of my, when I was about to graduate. Like I said in the other video, a portfolio prep where they saw my portfolio, whatever, and 5 instructors had to decide whether I passed or not. And Rachel was one of the 5 who said no. She was the only one out of the 5 who said no. Now tell me where does 1 out of 4 people change where you go? Like usually majority wins, right? Oh, but no, honey. That one bitch said no, and I had to take the class again. I had to take the shit over. And I called one of those instructors, well, the instructor whose class I was in to prepare for that, and he was also one of the ones who signed off. I spoke with him on the phone. I was like, isn't that weird that one person said no and it was Rachel, and I had to retake the class because she said no? Like, what kind of clout does this bitch have? That because she says no, I'm not passing. Like, what? So no, ma'am. So I went hard with my work, so I'm gonna show you, bitch. But this is where I went in on her ass. I had to dismantle this fucking bitch. So I went through my stuff and I found a paper or a few papers with her writing on it. Because remember, she was my instructor. So yeah, this bitch has written on my papers and I saved my shit. So I had a paper with your writing on it. And I cut out that paper. I cut out that paper. Yes, I did. And then I got a black candle. Got a beautiful black candle. And I wrote her name on that candle. I wrote her name on that shit. Yes, I did. And I put the candle on a table. And I put the paper with her writing on the table. Began to meditate, calling the powers of the universe within my soul, within my spirit. I'm calling the powers of the universe to come within me, to come through the top of my head down into my body, to engulf every single pore, every single cell. I want the power of the universe just spewing out of every pore. And then I looked at that black candle. I looked at that motherfucking black candle. And I willed that black candle to be a portal. The portal between worlds. That is what you are now. And I lit the black candle and I focused my intent and I focused what this bitch did to me. Because when you do a curse, you have to focus on what the person did to you. The reason why you're doing this. All the things this bitch said to me. All the time she tried to comfort me and try to put her foot on me and try to hold me back. for no fucking reason because she didn't like me or I had no idea why. But she was fucking with my money now because these classes are expensive as fuck and I had to repeat them goddamn classes. And the bitch wanted me to repeat the shit again. But oh no, bitch, that's when you had to go. Because you're not going to come for me a second fucking time. You're not going to come for me a second time, bitch. She came for me the first time and I had to take that class over. But then this bitch was at the finish line again the second time. So I was like, oh no, ma'am. See, you're not going to fuck me up this time. So this time I have to remove you. Because we're not doing this again. So yeah. So I took all of that and I put that shit in that motherfucking candle in that goddamn flame. And then I took the candle, I picked it up, and I dripped that shit all over the fucking writing. I covered the fucking writing. I snuff you, whore. I snuff you, bitch. I snuff you. I remove you. I encapsulate you, bitch. And I covered that shit up till I couldn't even see. I couldn't see, and it was just black. I just was dripping that candle wax all up on that. All up on that paper. You couldn't see that shit. I snuff you. So I put it away. I put the paper away. And 1 week before 5 instructors were going to see my portfolio again for the second time, because I had to take the course all over again that semester, she got fired. And like 4 other instructors got fired. Another one of which, I went in on her ass again. That was the spirit. The spirits dismantled all of them. Everybody, bitch. And she was fired. Oh yeah, and one more thing. That curse that I put on her, she was pregnant at the time. She was pregnant at the time that I put this curse on her. And I had a dream that I was at a party and she came with her husband and she had the baby in her arms. But mind you, in real life, she was pregnant, but in the dream, she had the baby and she gave me the baby. And when I held the baby threw up and the baby could not stand. It's like I had to hold it and sit and she had to leave. So she got fired, okay? Whatever. She got fired. I passed. I moved forward. I graduated. Bam. So a couple of years later, or maybe like a year or so later, you know, I go and I look her up because it's always a good idea to stalk your victim. So I looked the bitch up. Well, pause. Let's glow on my fucking victory. I got this motherfucking bitch fired. Yeah, bitch, I got you motherfucking fired. You lost your fucking job for coming for me because you came for me. And all the other students who you were a bitch to because this one boy, he went in on her ass, like he cussed her ass out one time. See, I just, that's not in me to like curse people out, especially like a teacher or something like that. That's not my thing. I get you in the back end, honey. I get you with the spirits, which is even worse. But yeah, this guy, he cussed her out or whatever. I forgot for what reason. And then she had an issue with this other girl. Like she had issues with a lot of students because she just had like she just had this whiny, bitchy, mean girl type of attitude. And you had to pay for your grades. Like You had to pay because there was an art class, so, we had to, like, do packaging and things like that. So if you went and you paid for pretty packaging, you got the A. And this bitch did not help. She did not give me any type of, like, direction, nothing. I would just bring my work and she would just kind of, like, disapprove and not even, give me nothing and wanted me to, repeat classes. Like, no, bitch, you got dismantled and you got slayed. And I don't regret it. I am proud of my motherfucking work. That is my crown jewel. The slayage of Rachel is my crown jewel. So yes, so a year later or so, whatever, I look her up and she has some blogs on the internet where she's talking about her mommyhood and being a mom, and that now she does some business at home because the bitch got fired and she will never teach again. So she then goes on in one of her stories explaining how her child cannot walk and how her child cannot speak. And how she went to the doctors and they don't really know what's going on. And I'm like, damn, isn't that funny? Because when I put that curse on her, I had that dream with the baby, and the baby could not walk, and the baby was throwing up everywhere. So look at that. Look at motherfucking that. So sometimes when you put a curse on somebody, more shit can happen to them. Because I just put that curse on her to snuff her ass out, to bind her, to constrict her. But the spirits, they had some more shit in their goodie bag. And they fucked her ass up. And yeah, it sounds like a really simple curse. You get somebody's writing or whatever, or hair, or even you can write their name out with their birthday, and you kind of, bring up the emotion and you blotch out their name with a candle. It sounds very simple, but it's your will, your intent behind it, and your visualizations and being in your trance state and pushing that will out. All of that matters. So it can be very simple. But when your will is strong and you feel your conviction, then go the fuck off. Go the fuck off and lay that motherfucker out. And the spirits will allow it. They will open the door and be like, lay her out, finish her, dismantle this whore, decapitate this bitch. And that's just what I did. So yeah, you guys, I think that's pretty much it. If you guys want readings, contact us, reynateas@gmail.com. It's in the description box how to contact us if you want readings, spell work. Definitely hit us up. Follow us on Instagram, Reyna_teas. It's in the description box, all of it. So thanks you guys for listening, and I'll see you on the next one.